shit right. I'm talking in the mic right now. That's why I'm reading it down like this. But we got another one today. I'm gonna be reacting to them, my boy. Hold on. So y'all, we got another one for you today. Today, Friday. You know what I'm saying? Happy Friday to y'all. You know, to everybody watching this shit. Hope y'all enjoy y'all day and that type of shit. You know, it's a beautiful Friday as of right now. Georgia weather for all my Georgians. Y'all know how the Florida weather go. You know, up, down, sideways. That it's raining 30 minutes. It's snowing the next hour later. You never know how it go. But with enough of that said, shit, we gonna be reacting to this Nipsey, this neighborhood Nip, man. Breakfast Club interview. You know, it's one of the throwbacks. Well, how his passing being a little while back. You can consider a lot of this stuff a throwback. But I feel like it's one of the early ones right here. We're gonna tap in. Let's do it. Hold on. What's up, y'all? Got another one today. Gonna be reacting to this Nipsey Hussle Breakfast Club interview. Rest in peace, Nip. Rest in peace, all the fallen soldiers we done lost over these past, we'll say, 10 years for real. We done lost a lot of people over the past 10 years, like important figures, and not just the music business, but just in general, But enough of that. We're gonna get to this video right here. Salute to everybody watching. It's a fourth reaction video, fourth one. Let's do it.
Power 1051.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We have a special guest from the West Coast.
Finally.
Yeah, finally.
The
Long
homie
time.
Nipsey Hussle.
What up?
What's
going
up,
on,
my
sir?
brother?
Everything good? How you feeling?
You got the Proud to Pay movement going on.
Yeah, man. Most
Put out the
definitely.
Crenshaw album.
Yeah.
You my dog, but I just couldn't pay $100 for it.
I seen your tweets, man. I had to holler at
It's
my
early,
boy
they
real
play
quick.
I've been a fan
But
of
you can
Nipsey
still
since-
get
Yeah, this an early one right here for sure. This back one. Charlamagne ain't get the face done yet. Shit. That boy looks strict like he from Africa, boy. No cap. Yeah. That money, man. That money that do that. You change your whole appearance to do that. Back to the video.
the app. You don't have to do
I
this.
didn't know
It's
that.
free.
Nah, it was
if you
my
want the
choice.
hard copy.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
my choice for sure.
It's like a Kickstarter campaign. If you want to support somebody and donate money to the movement,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And you
Yeah.
also get an experience with it.
Exactly.
Legendary
You get
move, by the
access
way.
to the concert. It's like a limited count. You can't buy a ticket for it. You gotta have the product to get in. So but it was by choice. If you wanted to download it, that's cool. It was available on that pit for free. So I'll just clown it online.
Did you have the concert already? Did you
Nah,
have
we setting it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I downloaded it on that pip.
That's cool.
Sorry.
It's
That
all
wasn't the
good.
first time you did that, though. You had Bullets. Bullets Ain't Got No Name 3 for sale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, you remember that for sure.
I remember that because it was midnight, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get Nipsey's new joint. And then it was like, you got to pay for it.
We're so spoiled. But it is true because you put out the Crenshaw, the mixtape, and it is like an album. So
Pause. Nip had them folks paying early for this shit. Before y'all knew about Nip, he was a hustler. Hence the name Nipsey Hussle. Wasn't no rappers in them times, which is the 2006. What's say 2000 and. Yeah, we'll say 2010s era, because it was around between 2010 2020 when Crenshaw came out. I believe Crenshaw was like 2013, if I ain't mistaken. Mixtapes was free back then. Milk when they started charging them for, and it was optional. It was optional. You didn't have to. You could have got it for free too. Because I know I did. I wasn't in California. I couldn't pay for this shit. You know, generally speaking, I couldn't pay for it personally, but where I was at financially, I don't think I would have paid $100 for it either. But I fully supported the campaign for sure. But with him doing that and people still paying them hundreds, Jay-Z dropped what? He bought 10,000 copies. What? No, he bought 1,000 copies. Yeah, 1,000 copies. He bought 1,000 copies for $100. That's 10,000 for sure. On the tape right then and there, you know what I'm saying? That's just the physical. You could have still got it online for free. That's hustle. That's hustle. That's how you hustle. Where you make something that really wasn't supposed to be sold and you sell it anyway, that's a hustler. Shout out to Nip, man. Gonna keep this shit going.
Sometimes it's difficult. You're putting out all this music with great guest features and producers and Ninth Wonder and Rick Ross is on it and Slim Thug and everybody. And it's like, damn, I gotta give it away for free.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, we get money off the other side of it, like touring. You already know that, merchandise and all that. So it was really just to get people talking. I want everybody to be like, why you charging $100 for the album?
Right.
What makes it, in his mind, worth $100? So that was what the idea was, but it sold out. So that was cool too.
That's right. And then Jay-Z went ahead and bought 100 copies.
Yeah, shout out to Jay for that.
So that means he gets to come in the concert free.
If he want to, he could have done that without buying them. You know what I'm saying? But he got 100 tickets if he need to. Yeah.
Have you hollered at him since he made that purchase?
Nah, I didn't get to holler at Jay. Rock Nation reached out and
I
you
bet
know
they
what I'm saying. Not on no deal type of stuff, but just just was like handle the business, shot the loot over and all that.
They wired you the money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Send it right to your account.
Exactly.
And you shipped them the CDs.
Yeah, the next day for sure.
The money hit different when they get wired to you. I ain't made that type of money yet, but I want to see what that's like. Back to the video.
Jay-Z do that though? Was he he's a fan of yours or what?
I can't say, man. Honestly, I got a DM from B-Dot and Elliot Wilson that was just like, Ho said he saluted the thinking behind the $100 album and all that. So I was like, for sure, tell him good looking. And then Rock Nation reached out and was just like, one of his homeboys, Emery, was like, send some clothing. He wanted to buy some clothing.
Salute to Emery, that's our
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, for sure. So we shot him a box of that for free too, because they spent 10 racks with us already.
So you had to give him something free.
Yeah,
Fine.
And
I thought you said you had some Crenshaw stuff for
Salute.
I did.
Give him some
but-
clothes
No matter
for
of fact, I
that,
still
for
do.
sure.
KC.
You spent
what's
10
going on?
racks
we
with
got
us.
shirts left, right?
Throw it on Casey. Casey like, no.
Damn.
Nah, we did. It was so much stuff that got added, but I ship y'all whatever. I talked to Envy on the Twitter and all that. I
The
got
question:
the sizes.
where did you get the idea of charging $100 per CD?
You needed a new chain.
Nah, not just that, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I got a few mentors that just put me on books and literature and all that. Big Bob Francis, one of them, and so he told me about this book called Contagion.
Big Bob Francis, Arthur, I'm guessing. We should all get more deep into our books, man. Our book reading. I know we got phones and stuff, so it's easy to just read on the phone with the audio books and things of that nature. But it's something about a physical copy and you flipping through pages and having bookmarks. Y'all remember bookmarks? That shows to go how many, we got bookmarks on computers now. Back then, it's like, I wouldn't even just say back then, but we'll say before internet, before all this, phone reading, all that. You had to go either make a bookmark, cause I'm from the hood, so we weren't purchasing bookmarks unless you just feeling good that day. I guess I got a sister, so I guess for women, they want to either buy some cute stuff or make some cute stuff. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's just like, bro, whatever you can find that you can put in between them sheets, not sheets, I'm tweaking, pages, to keep that page right there. Remember, you need that can be a leaf, nigga, that can be a toothpick, it can be anything, folks. But the point is, it hit different, bro. It hit different, because what if the toothpick fall out? What if the leaf fall out? What if the bookmark fall out? If you don't remember what you read, you're not gonna find that page again. You gotta do it all over again. Well, now it make it so easy for you to you can find it now. You got which is nice, which is a good thing. but it also makes the mind more lazy. It makes you not want to learn things as quick as you should, because you feel like you can just go look it up whenever you want to. You know what I'm saying? But that's just food for thought. Back to the video.
Contagious,
Yeah, so I got to the second chapter of that, and it was just talking about how this restaurant owner in Philly started selling Philly cheesesteaks for $100 out of his restaurant. And it just was like, it set off all type of conversation. Everybody was talking about it, and all type of influential people came through him and just wanted to check out why it was $100. Like Oprah came through and bought one. David Letterman bought one. He got all type of exposure.
It's the reason why it's that price.
And then it became like a staple, and everybody started coming through supporting, buying $100 cheesesteak.
Word.
So I put the book down, and I was like, yeah, we got to do that with the album. Nobody did that with music, you know.
That only works if it's worth $100 though.
Yeah, the music gotta live up to the price eventually when they get it, you know. And I think that I was confident in the music. It's not the album, you know. It was stuff that didn't make Victory Lap, which is my album. But I felt like we recorded all of that with the album in mind, so it wasn't like recorded as a mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
It's like art. It's like investing in a piece of art or something like that.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Yeah, you know, it's the art don't really cost that much.
So he had Victory Lap in mind when he was recording Crenshaw for sure. Victory Lap was his last album. Crenshaw came out 8 years before that. This was around that time. Just for the record, back to the video.
As it goes for the oil paint or whatever the texture or the material is ain't worth no 20 million. It's the way it's interpreted. It's the way people, you know what I'm saying, the value they got for it in their mind.
Now you were signed to Epic Records.
Yeah.
Now you're not on Epic anymore.
Nah.
Are you gonna stay the independent route? Because we know that Ross was hollering at you one time. I'm sure Jay-Z didn't buy those CDs as for nothing. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be a holler game at one point.
That's right.
Are you gonna stay independent or sign to a major?
I got like a unique idea as far as my deal that I'm looking for, and so you know I'm not really gonna go negotiate. I'm gonna just present my terms, and if somebody feel like it's beneficial to what they doing and it makes sense, we'll partner up. You know.
Now what happened with Ross? Because I know he wanted to sign you.
Yeah, no, Rose was like, man, he could make whatever deal happen that we needed. I'm like, I don't want no money. I need a partnership, you know. And so he fought tooth and nail inside the building and tried to push it through, but just the structure of the companies was like, they not really up for giving artists ownership and equity. They more like you can stand next to dude, he hot, you know what I mean, we'll cut a check, but you can't own nothing.
Of course they
you know
not.
what I'm saying? So I really wasn't in it for that.
He said that you kept telling him you can't wear red around you.
Nah,
like,
he didn't say that.
Shout out to Nip for not being in that for that, man, because we need more of that. We need more of that, you know. That's the video.
Are there a lot of other artists that tried to holler at you and sign you as well, not just Rick Ross?
Yeah, we had a few combos. I wouldn't say a lot, but a couple, you know, artists that have executive positions also reached out. And it wasn't, we just talked about it because they knew I was a free agent and we had something going on.
How do you feel about signing to another artist, though?
I mean, I think it worked for some people. I think me being in the game, having a major deal, being pushed to the extent I got pushed to already, being educated on the inside of the building, I don't think that that's the route I'm gonna go. But it worked for others. I think we see success, like people that popped off doing that.
Snoop was trying to sign you early on too, wasn't he? Or was it just more of a co-sign type thing?
It was more like whatever. He like, man, if you need me, holler. You know, we wasn't necessarily like petitioning to sign me. He was just like, man, I know what this is. You know what I'm saying? It's familiar. I know what to do with it. Or like just if you need advice, whatever, hit me. You know.
You move like Snoop, man. If Snoop was a gremlin and he got wet, you seem like you'd popped off.
Shout out Snoop.
Nah, that's the homie, man. You know, he from the same culture. He from the same element. So you know, it ain't. It's like a New York dude. You a hustler in New York. You kind of might have the same mannerisms or like, you know what I mean, movement as another hustler from New York.
Speaking of culture, what do you say to people who say you're a stereotypical West Coast rapper? Because I don't really understand that, because I think people see the new face of the West, the Kendricks and so on, but and they look at you and they're like, oh, he's a stereotypical West Coast rapper. He wears Chucks, he does the lowrider thing, he gang bangs, but
shout out to K-Dot. Shout out to the New West, and it was a part of that. But I can't say that. I can't. Well, his question was, how do you feel about them considering you like to be like a stereotypical West Coast rapper? You know, hence like I'm guessing like the gang banging, just the whole like West Coast energy, like gang bang. You know, damn near like Boys in the Hood, South Central type of shit, like. From what we seeing from the other side of the world, how LA or California just in general is, you know what I'm saying? his question is, how do you feel about people looking at the music that he makes? It's like that. And that's a great question, considering a lot of people didn't know about Nip for real. Even if they may have seen him before, without knowing they seen him before. Because he do kind of look like the nigga Snoop. Another version of Snoop, and Snoop is big, so a lot of motherfuckers wanted to look like Snoop. But Nip was a different nigga, man, you know what I'm saying? And his knowledge is what really makes his core fan base stick with him the way they do. We do, you know what I'm saying? It's not more so how he rapping, that type of stuff. That's just authentically him. That come with the territory. You know, when you from a certain place and you've been doing this your whole life, you know what I'm saying? That's just, it's in you, but it still should come with growth. You know what I'm saying? Maturity and things of this nature. And he showed a lot of that in his career. You know, and I respect it. And a lot of people, I feel like they do too. They should, you know. But 100, back to the video.
Yeah.
That's the culture.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't like you might have to come to LA to like it ain't necessarily what is stereotypical,
sure.
like, you know, represent the reality of what's going on. I would take that, you know what I'm saying? But if you listen to what I say in my music, you know, really listen to it, you'll understand the, you know, individuality. But it's real. I come from Crenshaw and Slauson. I come from 60th Street. You know what I'm saying? I was raised where the movies was inspired by.
The rolling 60s.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't vice versa. We ain't watched the movie and like that's what we gonna do. They came to the hood and asked could they film at our liquor store. We used to ride our bikes to it. You know what I'm saying? Asked could they put cameras up on our buildings where we hustled at and we fought in the back of the buildings at. So, you know, it wasn't like life imitating art. It was just like they covered it, it got exposure.
Yeah.
That's really what, you know, goes on and what it is.
What do you think about West Coast music now? Because I know one time the only way to basically get out on the West Coast,
it would have been a little different if they did.
And now it seems like it's opened up a little bit.
Yeah, I think
we ain't talking about a music
for
video, we talking about a motion picture.
A lot of people stayed down.
And this stuff going on
when
every
it wasn't
day.
popular. Me being one of them, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that when I came in, the West was where it is now, but I was distinctly LA.
Well, you just had a bad name, Nipsey, man. You was the man that was always late for video shoots, not coming, not getting on the plane.
Yeah. No, I mean I had a real situation I was coming out of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
ain't know that.
Like, you know, that ain't no excuse, but you know, like I said, I wasn't doing it in a vacuum. I was doing it from a perspective. I was on the run when I got my deal. I just got out the county jail. You know what I'm saying? I had real issues in the streets. Not that any of that mattered, but you know, sometimes that's the gravity that you fighting against. You know what I'm saying?
When I was in LA, when I used to be in LA a few years ago, I used to be like, yo, why Nipsey Hussle ain't popular? And they was like, because he's too hood.
Yeah, for sure.
He's too wrapped up in the hood.
I mean, not by choice, you know what I'm saying? But like, I had gave up on rap music. I was cool on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, people came to me and was like, bro, do it. Like, John Shapiro was like, I got a situation for you. And I was like, he set up studio time. He chased me down, like, man, get in the studio, bro. You got, because I devoted myself to it at an early age. And like I talk about, I was in the streets. I had money, I had spots, and I sold all my jewelry, sold my cars, and bought studio equipment and devoted myself to it. And I made a lot of music. Majority of the stuff that was on Bullets Ain't Got No Names 1 and 2, I made before my deal. And we got hit, we got raided. They took all my equipment. My brother went to the pen. I caught a case. And I was just like, you know, I was devoting my energy to positivity. And I felt like, you know, to no avail. Still, we ran into the same roadblocks that I could have been in, you know, in a better position financially. I could have kept grinding and just might.
It's a story to all this stuff, man. It be a story behind all this stuff, whether y'all know it or not. Even down to me doing these reaction videos, you know, it's a reason behind all of these things. And it molds the greatness into who you become, you know what I'm saying? The marathon continues, we're gonna keep it going. Back to the video.
Still had the same outcome. So it kind of.
They sell crack.
I mean, crack, that's an old drug, you know. That's like from the 80s.
It's so old school.
Yeah, you know. Nah, but I was like, I'm cool on it, you know. And so the music I done was it still existed. It was still out there. It was still on MySpace. John Shapiro heard it. He came to LA, met with me at the Beverly Center, and was like, man, I could make this happen. And I was skeptical of the industry. I was skeptical of industry people. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. and he was serious, and I didn't recognize how serious he was until he put a deal on the table, and it was a check. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, and I remember he brought you right to me, and I mean, we had you all through the clubs in New York.
No question, early on.
Now, also, how do you feel about Kendrick Lamar as far as, the control verse and him being the king? How do you feel about that verse?
I heard the reaction, from the culture, from the people. So
that control
whenever
verse,
you
that
move
Kendrick
people that much,
control
you know what I'm
verse.
saying, you gotta respect it. I know Kendrick, I'm a fan of him. I know he worked hard for his position. You know what I'm saying? I know he deserved everything he got. I know them dudes come from like a real
Shout out
place.
Kendrick.
J-Rock,
For
Top
sure.
Dog, Kendrick, he from Compton, and other dudes from the Nickersons. And so like, I sagged with them before. I've been on tour with him with Game in 07.
What does that mean?
Just like, like grinding with him, like,
Okay,
you know what I
gotcha.
mean? So,
Sag, I think all of y'all got your pants hanging down.
nah, like,
This guy
sag it
here.
out, man.
Right.
Like, grind it, And so, to see it take the, blossom like it blossomed, I salute that. I respect it.
How do you feel about him, his representation of the West Coast?
He represents himself, honestly. He's a
100.
dude from Compton. So, again, you just got to be true to
Facts.
yourself.
He
I think. You can't try
Pause, man. See, nigga, that's that type of shit I fuck with. If a nigga asked him, how do you feel about him being, representing the West? Like, how do you feel about him being one of the faces that represent the West? Nigga said, nah, nigga represent himself. He represent himself. And that's what make him the man he is, that we respect, bro. Salute to that, man. I agree. Back to the video.
adjust what you are to what people expect from you. None of that. I think that's when you you're gonna get slack and it's gonna be fake. He himself, like what you hear in the records, that's what you get when you meet him, when you talk to him. And before
That's
he
up.
popped, that's how he was. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
respect it that he took it to that height without watering down what his message was.
Right.
Now, why does Complex Magazine hate you, man?
Nah,
It's
they-
not what they
They
don't
have just
hate
one
him.
of the 10 underachieving
They might have
underachieving
first.
artist list.
Yeah, nah,
That's
that-
what's disrespectful, I think.
Yeah,
No,
that,
they
that
don't
list
hate
was disrespectful, but that's their platform, so they entitled to their opinion. And I didn't like lash out. My team saw it, and my team was like, "You see this, Nip?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
Well, the way they try to describe it is that they feel like they supported you,
Yeah.
and they, really like you as an artist, and they felt like you should be further along, and that's why
Yeah.
they said that.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing. I ain't asked for the support. By the way, I ain't asking to write about me or none of that. That was their choice,
Right.
So again, that's what they got the outlet for. But when I seen the article, it was like I read it and I was like, oh cool, that's how they feel. I never said nothing about it.
You felt like they were being sarcastic.
Yeah, just like again, I spoke to the points that offended me in the article, but I was really just like, how much you get paid? The writer that wrote that. I pay them type of salaries to
What
my
did the
employees
article
at my
say?
business that got felonies and that can't get jobs. No disrespect. So who's the underachiever? I own my company. I own the asset of this whole industry, which is your masters, your intellectual property. You know what I'm saying? Your publishing.
Word.
So your metrics and
must
what you
call them
gauge them as
underachiever.
achievement is actually like a peon or underboss way of looking at it because like
Yeah.
I'm not in it for the fame. Everybody
Okay.
I want
Okay. Back to the video.
to be seen and held at the
Yeah,
highest regard,
underboss.
obviously, but you can't cash that out. You can't take that to the bank. Well, you can in other ways, but what's the asset? What do the labels do it for? They do it for the ownership. They do it for the catalog, for the mailbox money. And so, I think if you up on what's going on, you will respect that. You wouldn't say a dude underachieving for that.
Yeah, for years I've seen Nipsey Hussle out and
boss
about at all
money.
kinds of conferences, and
Yeah.
I see you move around all the time.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you think that labels were a little nervous about your street affiliations, and they're like, okay, we don't know, what's going to happen with him. If we sign him, is he going to go back to jail? Was that ever a real concern, you think, when people were looking at you?
I think like the people that's so far removed from like humanity, because you gotta meet somebody before you come to any conclusion. And some people so successful that they just got layers and they got blocks to where they don't even deal with certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, like when we had issues, on the street level, you had people in offices that were conscious of it and aware of it. And you know what happened with Suge, and you know what happened with Death Row. So I think people might have, overreacted and felt like it was gonna be a similar situation. But again, the game changed. Like we in control to an extent. We got the internet, we got a global village that we could deliver content to. You know what I'm saying? And it's worldwide. You could tour, you could sell your merch, and you could build businesses. So if you're not stuck on, you know, being a fame junkie and being some type of socialite, you can look at the game for what it is and eat. You know what I'm saying? And you know, build something that rides slowly.
You still moving around with Big U?
For sure.
That's my homie. You know what I'm saying? You know, he don't manage me no more, but that's my homeboy. I got respect and love for him.
Absolutely.
Now, what about for your album that you're putting out? What is? I know you're gonna put it out in a different kind of way. Also, I'm sure you have a plan.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is not gonna be what other people have done in the past.
Yeah.
So, are you willing to share what the plan is with that, or is that something that's still in the works?
Nah, we got the plan. We're gonna do it traditionally through physical retail on iTunes, but then we're gonna do a Proud to Pay campaign like we did with this one. And we're going to offer it for free also. We're going to offer the album for free. So if you want to download it free, you could. Because it's still going to be free regardless if I offer it or not. Somebody going to leak it. It's going to be available.
We got Apple Music now.
Nah, so I'm going to just keep it 100 with the people. It's going to be free if you don't want to pay for it. If you want to pay for it, we're going to have a Proud to Pay product that go along with it. And if you want to go to iTunes or Best Buy or Target, you could do that too, you know.
Have other artists approached you and said, I kind of want to do something like what you did. So do you mind if I go ahead and try to do a little Proud to Pay campaign as well?
Eminem doing that now.
I was about to say, a few artists approached me, and then a couple didn't. Like, I think MGMT doing something. You know, the management, like the rock band, they doing something. And then Eminem selling his at different price points for like 300 for the deluxe, 50, 200, and so on.
Y'all big damn man. I specifically put on Twitter. All right, I salute Nipsey.
Salute.
But
When
if
you
all
do
you other
something
artists
so
try to
great,
do
you
that,
do
I'm
it
not
right,
paying
man.
that
A lot of
You
people
know,
would
You didn't
say
pay that for Nipsey.
You feel me?
That's
Follow
my
suit.
dope.
And
That's
it's
my
my
guy.
guy.
Man, it's all good.
But I support him, but I'm too cheap to pay
other
$100
artists were like,
for
man, I wish I'd have thought of that first. I heard people say that.
Yeah, me too.
Who would you pay $100 for?
I did actually recently. We did something with MTV, and I went to the store. They gave me that credit card and was like, buy what you would like to buy. Spend 100 on whatever you like to buy, music-wise. So I bought Dom Kennedy album, Get Home Safely. That's my homie.
That's your dog,
Yeah. I like what he doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of him. Also him being my homie.
Shout out Dom.
And then I bought Blueprint, the 12-inch Blueprint.
Get Home Safely was a great album.
I bought
and he on
one
the
of the
album.
Tupac
Nip on
singles.
the
I
album.
couldn't find no album. I bought, I think, What You Do for Love. I bought a Raekwon album.
Blueprint,
You know what I'm saying? Just
Stillmatic.
rap that I grew up on, influenced by and stuff.
What do you think about music now? Because you're talking about a lot of classic
Tupac
albums, a
single.
lot of classic artists.
Yeah.
The final
What do you think about some of these
Raekwon
artists now?
album, that's hard.
I think it's good, man. I think, you know, it's a lot of great music. I don't know
Yeah,
if
that
everything
$100
that's great is
spent.
getting seen on the highest platform. Kendrick being like a representation of real hip hop, being like one of the biggest dudes in the game. I think that's good for the culture.
Right.
Even Drake, like, he a real rapper. People say what they want to say about him, but he make, you know, he good at rap. You know what I'm saying? So I think he represents the
Drake
culture.
too.
Meek Mill,
Shout
you know
out
what I'm
Drake.
saying? Being a real dude from the
Yup.
street, succeeding at the level he succeeding
For
at.
sure.
So I think it's good. You got a
Yup.
lot of BS also, but we ain't gonna point that out and focus on this.
Me.
I think it's more creativity and good stuff coming to the, you know, rising to the surface right now.
Yeah,
So,
we got BS too.
you know, it's exciting.
Sure.
Aren't you African?
yeah, my dad from Africa. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he from East Africa, a country called Eritrea.
Yeah.
Eritrea, it's next door to
Eritrea.
Sudan,
Yeah.
Ethiopia, borders the Red Sea.
Yeah.
Have you been back there?
Yeah, when
Pops
I
from
was
Africa.
18, actually, I went for 3 months, and it was cool. At first, I was like, I was ready to
I'ma
go
take
home.
a
You went there for what?
Africa,
As
so
I had to get
I
loan,
wanna
try to
see
go,
what
or
it is.
you just want
not
to
even,
visit?
not even.
Not
I was
E-word.
good at that
Lil
point,
Pop
but
is from.
you know, my granny
But
that I had never
Africa is
met,
a
my
big
aunties,
continent.
my
I wanna
cousins, I
see what
never
that's
met
like.
any of my
That's
pop's
a
family.
deal.
My pops was the only one in our family that was in America, so I was raised by my mom's side, and then my pops played his role, but we went out there to meet her because she was sick, and I ended up spending 90 days out there, you know, and it changed my life. It changed my perspective on a lot of things, especially more than anything, my respect for women, you know, because I was raised in a area where, you know what I'm saying.
Bitches ain't but hoes and tricks.
Yeah, that part, you know what I'm saying? But I went back home and I had a totally different experience, you know, and I came in the house and they had food ready for me, and, you know, they wouldn't let me lift my hand to do no work.
No, they
And they
did.
was like, literally, when I came in to eat, they
Sure,
washed my
bro.
hands for me, you know what I'm saying? And so I felt obligated to, you know,
Word.
do my part as a man. Like, you know, can't nobody disrespect my cousins, can't nobody, you know what I mean? They don't
Right.
gotta do no labor, no hard labor that men supposed to do. And it just, like, made me aware of the dynamic of a real family relationship.
Right.
You know, we come from broken homes and all that. So,
And you got to make these American women be more domesticated like them African women.
I mean,
And then men got to handle their responsibilities.
that
like
part
they
too.
do that.
Yeah.
Here
that
comes
part
Charlamagne.
too.
Go ahead, Charlamagne. Say what else you want to
I'm
say.
just saying, I ain't never had no girl wash my hands for me.
Nah, but
That's
if you
all.
go back, you will, and you'll be like, all right, well, I ain't got no problem. You know, if you need something, you got it. It's cool, or whatever. You like she said, you'll understand your role a little better. Not you per se, but just
Word.
you
I
know.
like tricking.
For
I
sure.
can see.
You talking about?
Yeah.
I don't mind a little. I don't mind. You know.
Now last
it
week
ain't
he went
tricking
to
if she worth it.
DC Howard Homecoming. He put some money on a girl's books.
I retweeted a tweet he put. He like, I ain't buying no $100 album. And 2 lines later, he was like, you know, I just tipped $100. I'm drunk. You know
I'm
what I'm
drunk.
saying?
Y'all know me. Hold on
Yeah,
now. You know me. You know I had to be drunk.
Charlamagne is so cheap.
Yes, I
Charlamagne
am.
don't even pay his part, so that's cool though.
You talking about I can see?
Now, why did Malcolm X change? You know, a lot of rappers have their own face. Shout out to Ross. Or,
Yeah.
You know, something else. Why Malcolm X?
This was a gift. My brother gave me this. You know, he made this before we had any rap situations and all that. And he gave it to me. He went to the pen and he was just like, you know, you can have it.
Yeah, man.
bought
Shout
it.
out to
He
you.
designed
Yeah.
it himself,
Oh,
but
gotcha,
he, you know, he brought the idea to the jeweler and made the mold and then put it together. And my brother type like,
So Malcolm X means nothing to you.
I'm not gonna take the credit for making it. I didn't make it, but I wouldn't wear it if it
Malcolm
didn't
X
mean
shine.
something to me. I respect
Gotcha.
what he represented. I respect, you know,
Black Sound,
the any
gifted
means
him.
necessary philosophy. I respect his transition from being a street dude to being somebody that had discipline and stood up for like
he
you know, a
designed it.
cause that was
Yeah.
real at the time and still real.
With the jeweler
You know,
bag.
and I just think he was a outside of like the racial thing. I thought he was a real man. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that part of it.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what does it take for Nipsey Hussle to finally get his just
Sure.
I mean, we eating good, so you know, fame and attention. You know, I think that you know we gonna continue to rise. I think that we gonna keep making moves and we gonna be good. But you know, I ain't in the fame race. You know what I mean? Like I'm more so concerned with owning my situation first, and then making that as big as I can make it. You know, so if you look at like Birdman, even Jay, you look at like artists that in control, they had to go the long way. They had to take the stairs. You know what I'm saying? And you deal with turbulence and stuff, but you know, I think I could do what I do with the best of them in the game. I just had to set my situation up the right way and build
That's
my
great.
foundation.
Because a lot of artists are content just being
Word.
artists, and right now you have to be multifaceted
Word.
and be able to handle your
100.
business. Some
No
people don't have
question.
their business correct.
No question. You know? And that's what's important to me, because a lot of these dudes,
sure.
you know, at the end of their career, it'd be hard for them, and they still famous. You can't cut
pays
the lights
off.
Your face known, and if you don't handle your business right, you walk through the mall, you're gonna be disrespected. You know, your baby mama getting at you foul. It's bad for a lot of people that you know didn't handle their situation right. Was getting drunk every day, partying, and just feeling the moment. And not to say we don't do that, but you know, I just think you know, like attention and fame is a crazy thing. You gotta be conscious
For
of like
sure.
the expectations. Like you can't ever fall off. In my
It's
opinion,
gone.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It look
for
bad.
sure.
Are you in the game?
That's my homie.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's my homie. I just
For
did 2
sure.
records on his mixtape. Okay. Yeah. that's my homie.
I be wondering because you know you blue, you
Yeah.
red. I be wondering if y'all can even.
Man, we grown. We
but,
gonna do what we want, man.
handle your business.
Like this, the thing they don't know about LA. You only got rules if you're not respected.
yeah.
Like you can wear what you want if they know your pedigree already. What color you can
For
bring
sure.
an enemy to your hood. He with me. He's straight. Whoever he is, he with me. He good. So vice versa. Unless you're not respected in your area, then you know people gonna prey on you and you gonna get treated how you get treated. But if they know your resume and you solid, then you can do what you want as long as you ain't violating and overly, you know, what I
Right.
mean, disrespecting what's going on. But you know, everybody in LA, if you a Crip got a blood they cool with, they get money with, or another Crip that they hood beefing with that they cool with, they get money with, or else they living in a box. You know what I'm saying? They not really. They at like a level 1 level. You know what I mean in the situation.
You ever have to G-check any rappers? Because you know every rapper seems to have some type of affiliation, or claim to have some type of affiliation.
Man, it's crazy. Nah, we ain't never had no problems with no rappers, honestly. You know, people
For
might,
sure.
you might have to like straighten
That's just
somebody
how that
out.
go.
You know, I ain't never had to put hands on nobody, no rappers,
Yeah.
you know.
But I'm saying you see somebody throwing up a C or something like, oh, you really Crip or whatever.
I think they more so do it to try to like, Nip, what up? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, bro, cool.
Some
you
people
know?
don't understand how serious it is either.
Yeah. You know, you hear a lot of rappers cousin and blood in their records, but, you know, it's a difference between doing it, you know, on record and being from the lifestyle. And so we already know who the real ones is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we appreciate you joining us today.
Nah, thank you.
And you better come back up here, man. It took you too long to come up here,
I
man.
No, man. I needed a reason, though. We was working for a long time, so I think it makes sense now.
That's the whole point. The more you come up here, we know you got a project guy. That's what we want.
No question. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Yeah. No cap. Alright, y'all. I got some shit to handle. We out of here, though. Number 4. Rest in peace, Nip. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep this thing going, brother.